Welcome to the VoiceMe Podcast, information and advice on the world of voiceover presented by voiceme.co.za, the South African search directory for voice artists and related services. I'm Andrew Sutherland, founder of VoiceMe, and in this episode, I'm talking about why being available for a voiceover job doesn't automatically mean you're ready to be booked. Most voice artists spend a lot of time thinking about how to sound better. And yes, that matters. You need training, a good demo, a decent recording setup if you're recording from home, and you need to understand scripts, tone, pacing, performance, all of it. But there's another side of this business that can make or break the booking before you even get near the microphone. How easy are you to book? How quickly can a client work out whether you're the right fit? How clearly do you communicate? How confidently do you handle rates, usage, deadlines, formats, and recording logistics? How much extra admin does the client have to do just to get a straight answer from you? And that's what I want to dig into today. I've covered overall career readiness, training, demos, branding, finances, all the big foundational things before. So this won't be a repeat of all that, but rather sit in the gap between a client being interested in you and the client actually booking you. And that gap is where a lot of voice artists lose work. And most of the time, the client won't even tell you why. They won't say your demo was good, but your reply was vague, your rate was unclear, and I didn't have time to chase you. They'll just book someone else. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Clients don't always book the best voice. They often book the safest voice. And by safest, I don't mean boring, average, or cheap. I mean the voice artist who gives them confidence fastest. Picture this. A producer is working on a corporate video. The edit is almost locked. The client finally approved the script after 6 rounds of changes, and the video needs to be delivered by Friday. The producer now needs a voice artist. They open a few profiles, listen to demos, and send out 3 or 4 inquiries. One voice artist replies within 15 minutes. Thanks for sending this through. I'm available tomorrow morning. I can record clean audio from my treated studio or join a live directed session if needed. Please confirm the usage, final script length, deadline, and whether you need raw or edited WAV files. Once I have that, I'll send a clear quote. A second artist replies 5 hours later, "Hi, yes, I'm available. What's the budget?" A third sends a voice note saying they're probably free and asks the producer to WhatsApp more details. A fourth doesn't reply until the next day. Now, one of those slower artists might have had the best voice. They might be brilliant with years of experience. But from the producer's side, the first artist feels safer. They've already reduced uncertainty. They've shown they understood the job, know what information matters, and can communicate clearly. When a producer is under pressure, that matters. Voiceover is often booked late in the production process. By the time the voice artist gets involved, the video may already be edited, the ad already timed, the e-learning module already built. That means clients are usually trying to solve a practical problem. Can we get the right voice at the right quality, at the right rate, by the right deadline, without creating another problem? And that last one matters. If working with you creates more chasing, more confusion, more delays, more file issues, or more awkward rates conversations, you're not making the project easier. You're adding friction. Being available means you have time. Being ready means you can do the job properly, and those aren't the same thing. You can be free tomorrow and still not know your rates. You can have an open diary and still not have a usable recording space. You can have a good demo and still not know how to deliver files properly. You can say yes quickly and still leave the client nervous. Readiness isn't a feeling, it's a system. It's the way you respond, quote, prepare, record, communicate, deliver, and follow through. A ready voice artist knows what to ask before accepting a job. Where will the recording be used? Is it internal, broadcast, online, e-learning, IVR systems? What's the final script length? What's the deadline? Do they need a live directed session? Does the client need raw audio or edited audio or split files? What file format? Are pickups included? Who signs off? Are there pronunciation notes or timing restrictions? And all that doesn't have to become an interrogation. A professional asks those questions naturally and efficiently. The point is to get what you need to quote properly and then deliver properly. The more comfortable you are with those questions, the easier you are to book. So let's talk about booking friction. Booking friction is anything that makes the client work harder than they should. Some of it's obvious. Slow replies, vague answers, broken demo links, unclear rates, outdated profiles, no mention of availability or live session capability. Some of it is subtler. Your profile might have demos but no clear positioning. So the client hears your voice but can't quickly work out what kind of work you're best suited for. Commercial, corporate, e-learning, character, IVR. If they have to guess, that's friction. Or maybe you have 20 clips with no labels, no categories, no clear tags or descriptions. Most clients won't dig. They'll listen to the first few seconds, feel unsure, and move on. Not because they're lazy, but because they're busy. Or your quote might say, voiceover, 3,500 Rand, with no explanation of what's included. Does that cover usage, editing, a pickup round, a live directed session, splitting files? The client might not know, and if they don't know, they'll delay the decision, ask someone else who does, or choose the voice artist whose quote was easier to understand. Clients don't always choose the cheapest option. They often choose the clearest one. Being easy to book doesn't mean being cheap. Don't confuse those things. You can charge professional rates and still be easy to book. In fact, the more professional your rate, the more professional your communication needs to be. If you're charging properly, the client needs to understand what they're paying for. So when a client contacts a voice artist, they're trying to answer a few questions quickly. Are you the right sound? Are you available? Can you do the job properly? What will it cost? How quickly can you deliver? And will you make this easy or complicated? A newer voice artist might think the client is only asking, do I like this voice? But a working producer is thinking about the edit, the deadline, the client approval, the usage, whether the sound quality matches the rest of the production, whether you can take direction, and whether your files will drop into the workflow cleanly. So when you reply to an inquiry, don't just say, yes, I'm available. That's just not enough. Compare these two replies, one weak and one stronger. Here's the weak reply. Hi, yes, I'm available. What's the budget? There's nothing wrong with needing to know the budget. Of course you do. But as a first reply, it doesn't show availability, doesn't ask about usage, doesn't ask about the script, doesn't give confidence. It just makes the client do the next move. A stronger reply would be, hi, thanks for sending this through. I'm available tomorrow between 10 and 12 and again after 3. I can record from my treated studio or join a live directed session if needed. Could you confirm the job details? Final script length, usage areas, deadline, and required file format. Once I have that, I can send you a clear quote. That's not stiff, it's just professional. It tells the client you actually know how this works. You've given them useful information and asked useful questions. That kind of reply can win work because the client's confidence is changed. I'm not going to turn this into a full rates episode, but I do want to say this. Don't make the client guess what they're paying for. And don't quote blindly, especially if usage matters. There's a big difference between an internal training video, a paid social media ad, a radio campaign, an IVR system, a corporate explainer on a website, and a TV commercial. The script lengths might be the same. The value and the usage are definitely not. So when a client asks you for a quote, you need to know where the recording will be used. Ask it plainly. Where will the voiceover be used? How long will it run in all the usage areas? Is this internal only for client staff, used for marketing online, paid media, or broadcast? Will it be used in South Africa only, or in other territories too? These are normal professional questions. They're not awkward unless you make them awkward. And also be clear about what's included. Something like, this quote covers 1 recording session, delivery of edited WAV files, and 1 round of pickups for script corrections or minor performance adjustments. It doesn't include script rewrites, additional versions, or extended usage beyond the agreed scope. That clarity protects both sides. The client knows what they're getting, and you know what you've agreed to. A lot of conflict in voiceover doesn't come from bad intentions. It comes from vague agreements. Let's move on to technical readiness. If your profile says you have a studio, the client will assume you can deliver usable audio. Not, I can record something, usable professional audio. A treated recording space matters. A tested mic chain matters. Clean recording levels, stable internet for live sessions, proper headphones on directed calls so the client's voice doesn't bleed into the mic, knowing your software, exporting files properly without clipping or distortion, without baking in heavy noise reduction plugins to cover anything up. All of it matters. I'm not saying every voice artist needs a R1 million studio, but if you're selling remote recording, your remote recording must be good enough for the work you're accepting. And you need to know the limits of your setup. If your space works for auditions but not for broadcast work, be honest about it. If you can't run a stable live directed session because your internet drops every 10 minutes, fix that before selling it as a service. If you don't know how to export files with the correct specs, learn those specs before accepting any job. The frustrating thing is that many voice artists don't realize they're sending poor audio because they're listening back in the same bad room, on the same headphones, through the same untreated environment. Get feedback from an engineer if you can. Send a sample to someone who knows audio. Ask them to listen for noise, echo, distortion, harsh processing, mouth noise, level problems, and overall file quality. Don't just guess. Being ready also means being ready for the script, not just the booking. If the client sends the script before the session, read all of it. Don't arrive and discover difficult words live on the call. Don't find out halfway through that you can't pronounce the CEO's surname. Don't discover that the 30-second radio ad is actually 45 seconds of script. Ask these questions ahead of time and be valuable to your clients. Mark the script. Check names, ask about pronunciations, look for timing problems, work out where the thought changes, understand who you're speaking to. If the script says, read time 30 seconds, time it and make sure. And if something looks wrong, flag it early with the client. Just noting that this script may run closer to 45 seconds at a natural pace. Would you like me to push the speed, or is there room to trim copy? That's useful. That's the kind of thing a producer appreciates, and you're actually helping the production team avoid a problem. Also, know when to say no. Don't just accept every job because you're free. Some artists get into trouble here. They say yes too quickly. Can you do this accent? Yes. Can you record in this language? Yes. Can you do dubbing sync? Yes. Can you turn around 120 separate e-learning files by tomorrow morning? Yes. But if you can't do it at the required level, you're not being professional. You're gambling with the client's deadline and your own reputation. Real confidence includes knowing when to say no or when to refer. That accent isn't my strongest fit, so I'd rather recommend someone who can do it more authentically. I can record the narration, but I can't offer full audio sync to video on this type of project. That's not weakness. Clients would rather know upfront than find out after things go wrong, and most of the time, it makes you look even more professional and helpful. I want to go back to availability, and especially vague availability. This is a small thing that causes big delays. A client might ask, "Can you record today?" And the artist replies, "Possibly." That doesn't help anyone. Possibly means the producer can't schedule. Give availability ranges. I can record between 2 and 4 today. I can do a live directed session at 3:30, or I can self-record this evening and deliver by 9 a.m. tomorrow. That is helpful and clear. Also be careful with time zones. If you work with international clients, please confirm the time zone. South African time is not the only time in the world. If a UK client says 10, confirm whether they mean 10 UK time or 10 South African time. And don't overpromise turnaround either. Fast is good. Reliable is better. If you say you'll deliver by 4, deliver by 4. If something goes wrong, tell the client early. A delay with communication is usually manageable. A delay with silence creates panic, and panic costs trust. Let's go over 4 quick examples. Example 1, the fast turnaround corporate video. A producer sends you a script at 11 a.m. and needs the recording by close of business. A difficult-to-book artist says, yes, then 2 hours later asks about usage, then an hour after that asks about the file format, then at 4:30 sends an MP3 when the editor needed a WAV file. Now everyone's irritated. A ready artist replies, yes, I can help. I'm available to record between 2 and 3 today and can deliver edited WAV by 4:30. Please confirm usage, pronunciation for the 2 names highlighted, and whether you need one full file or split sections. Example 2, the radio ad. The client sends a 30-second script, you read it and realize it's way too long. A difficult artist forces it into 30 seconds and sends a rushed read. A ready artist flags it. I've timed the script and at a natural pace it's closer to 35 seconds. I can read it faster, but it may lose clarity. Would you like me to try a faster, tighter version, trim a line before I record again, or do you have the flexibility to extend the duration of this ad to 35 seconds? Example 3, an e-learning project. The client needs 80 separate files. A difficult artist quotes only for recording, then later complains that splitting and naming the files took hours. A ready artist asks up front, do you need the narration as one full file or split and named according to the module list? If split files are required, that takes extra time, which I'll include in the quote. Example 4, the live directed remote session. The artist says they can join, then on the day their internet drops, they have no headphones, they can't patch the audio, and the client hears echo. A ready artist tests their setup before offering live direction. They know whether they're using Zoom, Teams, CleanFeed, Source Connect, SessionLink Pro, or any other app. They know how to mute people speaking, record locally, and send files afterwards. Not glamorous, but professional. So these 4 examples really highlight about how being available and being ready are really 2 different things. Aim to be the ready voice artist. And here's some quick advice for your casting site profiles as well. Your profile should reduce friction. A client lands on your profile because they're looking for a voice artist. They should be able to work out very quickly whether you're a possible fit. That means demos that are clear, current, and relevant. Voice style, language and accent options, categories all accurate. Contact information up to date. If you have remote recording capability, say so. If you're available for live directed sessions, say so. If your demos are from 10 years ago and no longer represent your current sound, update them. If your best work is buried under old clips, reorder things. A good profile doesn't need to tell your entire life story. It needs to answer one practical question. Is this person likely to solve my voiceover problem? Don't make clients investigate you like a missing persons case. They're supposed to hear you, understand you, and contact you. And a note for clients as well. Booking works best when clients send useful information. If you're a producer, an agency, or simply someone hiring voice artists, this part is for you. A good inquiry should include the script or estimated word count, the type of project, where the voiceover will be used and for how long, the deadline, the desired tone, whether you need a live directed session, whether you need raw or edited files, the file format, any timing limits, and any pronunciation notes. For example, "Hi Andrew, we need a warm, clear South African English voice for a 90-second internal training video. Usage is internal only for staff, not online. Script is attached along with link to the work in progress video as a guide. We need a ready-to-use edited WAV file by Thursday morning. No live session needed. Please quote for the recording and one pickup round in case it's needed." That's a clean brief. It gives the voice artist enough to quote properly, save time, and reduce assumptions. When the voice artist understands the job, they can prepare properly. So back to voice artists. Before you say yes to a project, ask yourself these questions. Do I understand the type of project and where it will be used? Do I know whether usage needs to be included in my quote? Do I know the deadline? Do I know whether the client needs a live session or self-recorded files? Do I know the required file format and whether editing, splitting, or processing is expected? Do I know whether pickups or revisions are included? Do I know who signs off? Do I need pronunciation notes? Can I actually deliver the quality expected by the client? Have I confirmed availability clearly? Have I quoted in writing? Have I saved the brief, script, and client details somewhere sensible? That's not admin for the sake of admin. That's how you protect the booking. And when you work this way consistently, clients relax around you. They stop worrying whether you'll understand the job, and they start seeing you as someone who knows how production works. When you're difficult to book, you don't just lose the current job. You may lose all the future jobs you never knew existed. Producers remember the easy people. Studios remember the easy people. Agents remember the easy people. If someone needs to cast quickly next month, they're going to think of the voice artist who made the previous job simple. Not necessarily the person with the fanciest demo, but the person who is easy to reach, easy to brief, easy to quote, and easy to direct, that delivered the right files at the right time. That doesn't mean being available 24 hours a day, accepting bad rates, or tolerating poor treatment. It means that within your professional boundaries, you make the process clear and smooth. That's a business skill, and voiceover is a business. Your performance is the product. The booking process is the client experience. Clients judge you on both. Being available gets you into the conversation. Being ready gets you booked. Being easy to work with gives the client a reason to come back. Make the answer obvious. And that's all for this week's episode. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and my support team at support@voiceme.co.za. Leave a comment here or give me a call on 0861 VoiceMe. That's 0861 864 2363 if you're in South Africa. And to sign up for a VoiceMe profile, register from the homepage at voiceme.co.za. Connect with us at VoiceMe SA on all social networks. And if you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe, turn on automatic downloads, or click the bell icon to get notified so you don't miss our next one. I'm Andrew Sutherland, and that's it from me here at VoiceMe for this week. Cheers for now.